This is 4 a.m. me. Okay, I'm not. It's not true 4 a.m. It's after 4. The little hello. I just realized that my cat's name is Hello, the feral, and actually there's that kiddies program called Hello Kitty. So his name is Hello, you're a kitty. Okay, this is looking 4 a.m. Still lounging in bed, snuggled up with scarves and extra scarves and things. It's still winter, but we're having a mild winter apparently because of the solar flares or something of that nature. So I have started boxing lessons. Had 2 lessons. I watched one, and then I've had 2. I watched the first one, and I'm like, I'm sold on this. I'm sold on this exercise. So the warm up is skipping. Struggle to do the skipping. Yeah, but part of the thing with the aim with the skipping is to get bounce, because since now that I've lost all that excessive weight and because my joint pains are gone, I'm able to start doing skipping, even though I'm doing the sprinting. Look, my sprinting, I must be honest, I'm not sprinting every 3rd day like I used to. But what has happened, which is very interesting, and I've since been told why I can sprint. So when I very, very seldom fetched horses from the field, so it was just habit. Even though I've been on Carnivore for more than 2 years, I wasn't walking that far distance because of my knee. So my knee getting better is better enough so I don't need the crutches. But walking on my knee really doesn't like that action of walking there. So I'm sure if I had gone to a doctor and we had done x-rays and we had done all of that stuff, they'll tell me there's no cartilage there, or there's a lack of cartilage or whatever. But I'm not willing to go to doctors. Why? I don't know. I'm not going to a doctor about my knee. So obviously somebody will say stubborn. Yes, stubborn. I'm not going to the doctor about my knee. So the Carnivore has improved it dramatically, and the sprinting does not hurt my knee. So obviously, somebody explained to me, when you sprint, you land on the side of foot and your foot rolls. When you walk heel first. So obviously there's a different action. So I walk now to go and fetch the horses, and then I say to everybody, okay, I'm running, because it doesn't hurt. So even if I run, I don't have to just sprint, because sprinting is running as fast as you can. If I even just run, it doesn't hurt my knee. So I'm running everywhere, which is like super great. Then the skipping doesn't either hurt my knee. It does. It did hurt, but it hurt muscles, not the knee. And also to get that bounce going. So I can skip. The most I've done since I've started, I'm not skipping every day. I'm listening to the sprinting rule as well. Start every 3rd day. Don't start every day. Start less rather than more. So I managed to do 13 skips without standing on the rope or without hitting my toes with the rope. So there's bounce coming. And then also during the boxing, she does weighted shadow boxing. So you hold weights in your hand and then you box. You shadow box with the weights in your hand. I'm like, really? Who can do that? I think I was holding 2 kilogram weights on our last session in each hand. I'm like, or was it 1.2? Doesn't matter. Imagine holding 1.2 kilograms in your hand and boxing that same. So if you check, I'll maybe add it on this video. They filmed my sequence training with gloves on, but we did the weighted trains without gloves, just wrapped hand wraps. What else was I going to say? I wanted to talk about eating the cheese and so I ate the cheese because of my mood. My mood was dropping into winter. So I was like, okay, let's get something that will pick my mood up. Now, I stopped dairy, milk in my coffee, still drinking coffee on my Carnivore. Coffee, beef, lamb, salt, water. I really don't do a lot of eggs, not because they're bad for me, just because I don't. I like eggs. I like crispy fried eggs, but I just don't. So at the moment, but beginning of about 3 weeks back, I was like, oh, I feel like something. Carbs calling. I had a crash. I ate chocolate. I bought cheese. I ate melted cheese. Yum, yum. It was very delicious. I ate milk. I bought cocoa, milk, and coffee, chocolate and cheese. And lo and behold, guess who ended up with constipation? And it was the cheese. So I stopped the cheese, and I'd already stopped the cheese for like more than, let's say, 10 days, and still I was not regular, not good. So, but I was still doing coffee and the cocoa. So, 3 days ago, I packed up the tin of cocoa, the milk, and I got rid of it. I gave it to somebody. I was going to say I dumped it, but I didn't. That sounds so rude. I gave it to somebody. I said, yeah, do you want my milk and my cocoa? I'm done with a cocoa. 48 hours. No, yes, last night. Regular. So it took about 3 days to get when I stopped the milk. So obviously the milk is also not good for the regular. So the carbs in the milk, who knows why? Oh, I'm supposed to now give you why that happened. But anyway, I don't know why that happened. I must go look at carb addiction Dr. Rob Sivers, and see what he says. Can milk cause? Because he says drink milk. He doesn't say it like that. Check it out. So, okay, if you're a carnivore, if you like almost lion diet, because I'm very close to lion diet apart from the coffee. Lion diet is ruminant meat, salt. Well, it's actually not even salt. Ruminant meat and water. It's lion diet. So no, let's not call me lion. I'm not lion diet. I'm carnivore. I did buy my oxalate continuum food, which is the onions. I bought that before I bought the cocoa. So I still haven't eaten any of them. Very interesting. But yeah, so the boxing. I have started boxing my knee after, and then we do push-ups, weighted push-ups. So it's very light level, very low level, because bearing in mind it's not a professional set of boxing. It's just boxing as a form of exercise and self-defense too, I suppose. So I can quite enjoy watching myself box. I'm like, but I judged myself. Oh, look how slow you are. But bearing in mind, this is the first time I'm doing this sequence with gloves, and we practiced it without gloves. I'm doing the sequence, and the movement's quite different from my normal day-to-day life, and the movement's different from our normal running. So look at how quick I box. Jab, jab. Woohoo! I love this. Thank you, Carnivore. I want to thank somebody. I want to thank every single animal. I want to bless them and express gratefulness to them doing their job that they've been placed on earth for. Because all of us are placed on earth to do a job. And I want to thank. And I want to just thank you, Lord. Thank you, beef. It's very difficult for me because I love animals to distraction. So how am I able to eat the meat? How? As long as I don't have it as a pet in my garden, like I won't eat one of my own chickens, and as long as I didn't touch and love that live cow, as long as I know that animal was born and raised to become sustenance for me, I can eat that sustenance. Yes, we don't want to think of the little calf and the cute and the big eyes and the wet nose. We don't want to think that, because it's two different situations. I didn't realize it, but I'd become vegetarian because I'd even stopped eating eggs. I'd become total vegetarian almost before I went carnivore. I was eating salads, raw salads only. I'd often stopped with the veggies at that point, but I was eating just salads. Lot of nightshades. I was eating just salad, so cucumbers and lettuce and onions, and I think I might have still been doing some cheese in between, but I was also eating tuna out of a tin, so it wasn't true vegetarian, but the tuna was tin tuna. So it was very difficult to morph over to meat. I had to eat minced meat, ground beef, for the first 4 months. Otherwise, I could not eat a piece of meat that looked like a meat, like a chop or a steak. I couldn't do that. I had to eat it in minced form. It was very difficult. So I do understand you guys that say, oh, how can you eat an animal? And then I want to say vegetarians, how can you eat food that comes from a field where they use poisons on the ground to kill weeds, where they plow the land, kill all little baby animals, all small things, rats, rodents, whatever, the poison that they put on the toxins. They killed a new farm started here close to us. They annihilated the bird population. The runoff into the river annihilated the duck population. the fish. So these guys are disgusting. And you want to tell me that's I have one cow that needs to be put onto my plate. And I understand and I know and I have full knowledge and I have full gratefulness of that sacrifice. I have excessive gratefulness for that sacrifice, and I bless that being that now has become sustenance for me. And yeah, whereas those guys that poison the ground and no, sis, yeah, sis, don't judge me if you are gonna, like Sue. Look at my hair, Sue. I have no idea why it is now not knotty anymore. I cut it. I did cut it shorter. I was going to perm it. I changed my mind. I might even still cut it shorter because I think I would like the idea of it framing my face, especially as a boxer. Woohoo! I am a boxer. Okay, so this video is all about those carbs from the cheese or who knows what. Boxing, yay. My knee was incredibly painful and sore after the boxing training. It was very inflamed. So I used the horse. It is it's a clay. It's a white clay that we use as a pack on the horse's legs when they've worked hard, that it draws out inflammation. Well, I tell you what, that stuff is like amazing. I used it on my knee. It was swollen by the time I got home. So it was like a half an hour after the training. I got home, my knee was swollen, not double the size, but it was really, really swollen and quite throbby. I put my clay pack on, wrapped it, and left it till morning. And by morning, the knee was normal. There wasn't even a limp the next day. Like, what? Is something happening? Yeah, there's something happening. Okay, this was a long ramble. I must say that I'm feeling rearing to go. I'm going to go and skip now. Maybe I'll film that. I'm going to skip in my PJs.